back to Throwback Thursdays for another retro review here at the K.O.E. Nation. I am your King of Extreme, Lord Phil, K.O.E. Yes, here to give you another marvelous retro review from my time over at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, but I thought it would be the perfect time for me to bring that over here to you at the K.O.E. Nation with just a little added Phil K.O.E. flair. So without further ado, folks, let's get to the show and enjoy this retro review. Premium Spirits Review. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., joined by my indomitable broadcast partner,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for joining us on another alcohol review.
This one, it's been a long time coming, and I'm looking forward to it. Whistlepig, 10 years straight rye. This I've been looking forward to for a while. This is the straight rye that was set aside by the distiller from Maker's Mark.
Yep.
So this is the stuff that I'm quite interested in.
This is a brand that you've been pretty high on for a couple of months now. And
Well,
so far, I've really enjoyed. I've only tried the farm stock, but really enjoyed that. So I can't imagine that I'll be disappointed here.
That's a sweet nose. Just immediately out of the bottle.
We're trying this with a splash of water in the bottom to open it up.
Lovely glass here.
Absolutely. Got to use the nice Jameson cut recycled bottle glass when I can. Usually doesn't leave my shelf behind me, as you can see behind us.
We are here in the house of Tony G. So.
Oh wow, that is I'm not even up to it, and it is just already hitting my nose.
But for as high alcohol as it is, very sweet.
Incredibly sweet
So
smell
sweet.
but you can definitely smell the booze.
I'm having a hard time finding it.
Oh, I'm not. I'm immediately.
Okay, there we go. When you stay there, yes.
I immediately get the booze followed by the sweetness. I guess my order is just backwards.
It's like
I didn't get the rye.
Orchard fruity sweet.
I didn't get the rye aroma until like the fourth or fifth.
Huh. I can see why this whiskey might have been set aside as something special.
Yeah.
Well, let's. I'm getting a slight bit of honey on that last smell. It was just as my nose pulled away, I got it.
Yeah, very faint.
Well, man, this is going to be a good one.
All right. Oh, wow. Wow, there's a burn.
Oh, yeah.
There is a definite burn. It's not a bad burn, though.
High alcohol.
Yeah. The initial... Wow. I'm having...
100 proof, 50 ABV.
I got that faint hint of honey on the nose on the last few smells. I got that for a fleeting second on the initial taste.
It's a spicy one. It's a spicy rye. But I'm not getting any...
You get a fruity, and then it settles into a very, very rye. You get that burn and that tingle of a rye. And then as the aftertaste starts settling on the back of your throat, you get a little bit more honey and another spice, a floral spice.
Bring your nose up to it now that's been in your mouth. See if you don't pick up more of that honey.
Yeah, I am now. Yeah, very floral spice on the back finish of the aftertaste.
Like it's an explosion of spice the minute you open your mouth and oxygen hits your mouth.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I could imagine this.
It coats the roof of your mouth and your tongue.
Coats the entire palate.
Yeah.
Which normally that's for something like cognac. You'll put just one small drop in it.
Wow. Gotta say that's an impressive.
There's like a minty quality to it. A minty quality to the spice, not like a cinnamon.
It's a very cooling sensation when you breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, especially when you breathe in, you get a very minty cooling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's interesting. This one's a complicated bouquet.
This is so many different flavors and
Yeah, the
aromas.
more I get into it, just the more honey and the more subtlety.
And this is a 10-year, 100 proof. Man.
Yep, 10 years straight rye.
Yeah, it's for being as heavy on the booze. It's not overbearing. It smells like it's going to be, at least it did for me, but it's not. You can drink this. You don't have to just take tiny little sips. You can take a healthy drink, and it's not overbearing, even though it does coat your entire mouth.
Okay, when I was swishing it around a bit, on the back of my tongue, I was getting like a warm, spicy wood.
Oh yeah, I just tried it. Wow.
Like it's just, you just feel like
Just as you were saying that, I did the swish, and it really gives you a nice burn on the back of your tongue.
but it's wood. It's not like
is.
it's not like you just bit a jalapeno or something. It's
Not a pine, but yeah, an oaky. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is some interesting stuff here,
This is
sir.
a very complex rye.
Yeah, I know you're kind of a rye snob. You tend to be a little picky about your ryes.
You know, the thing about ryes for me is it's never really the same twice. And I don't know why that is, but it depends on my mood, I guess, maybe.
Well,
because sometimes I like one, and then the next time I try it, I'm like, it's not that good.
Well, rye has a tendency to be very batchy, and that's why this stuff, the fact that they've been putting out some very consistent product at Whistlepig, from what we've tasted.
Yeah.
They got the one good batch, so definitely this is some stuff. It's great. It's here, available now. It could go away at some point in the future. I would definitely recommend picking up a bottle or two of Whistlepig, regardless of what it is from their.
That's a great one to have on the shelf.
From their piggyback all the way up to their Boss Hog. Anything I'm gonna guess is gonna be pretty good, because this is a little bit above their bottom shelf offering. The farm stock was their original bottom shelf offering. Now they got a piggyback, which is a 6-year. Which, hey, I'm sure that's going to be good too. Well, as soon as I find one, we'll be reviewing it.
Makes sense. No, this would be a great bottle to have on your shelf. Not only is it a good drink and whiskey, but like you said, the story goes along with it really nicely too. So it's a good conversation piece as well.
Yes.
Plus a unique name.
Now,
and I do like the bottle. They're all aesthetically pleasing.
Yes. Now, this one we're going to grade on 3 different grades, because we did the same with Scotch. This is a high brand American whiskey. We're going to do the same here.
Okay.
So, this does resemble more of a Canadian whiskey. It was Canadian rye that was saved. So, the 3 categories will be rye whiskey, Canadian whiskey, and of course, brown spirits.
Okay.
So, as a rye whiskey,
I give this a 3.5 on. 3.75 on rye. I really like it. It's very complex.
Please, Tony G. Now, granted, yes.
Yeah, 3.75 on a rye.
I'm going to be a lot more generous with the rye on this. There's a lot of ryes that when I try them, like you've gone to Milo days where you have the Milo pancakes, and you just feel like you're just chewing on oatmeal grain. When I drink a lot of rye whiskeys, that's what I get.
Yeah. Yeah, you get.
Not the case with this.
If you search for the grain flavor,
yeah, you'll find it, but you gotta look. I'm gonna give this, in terms of rye, 4.25.
Wow. Okay.
I cannot deny it as an excellent rye whiskey, and probably one of the best we've had.
Okay. On a Canadian whiskey scale, I'm gonna actually give this a 4.
Wow.
Because the bar is set kind of low on Canadian whiskeys, if I'm being completely honest. Mostly it's high-end Crown. That's as good as it gets. So the bar's set kind of low, and I think this fits in very nicely with that line of products.
In terms of Canadian whiskey, I would say 4 would be kind of the low end of the grade. I would say 4.5 as a Canadian whiskey. It's a fine proof of type. It's one of the better. It's definitely one I would recommend people pick up.
Absolutely.
Now, the one that you are infamously hard to please, brown spirits.
What does this retail at?
$75.
Okay. For a $75 bottle, give or take where you find it, On a brown spirit scale, 3.
Hmm.
And that's just because it's such a complex spirit. It is good, and I like it. But on a brown spirit scale, for the price, I had to factor that in a little bit.
I could understand where you're coming at. I mean, like, if there was somebody that was just wanting to grab a bottle of drinking hooch for the night,
Yep.
like, this would not be
No.
an excellent choice, because this is a good high-end sipping whiskey.
It's a higher quality.
So for that, I would say I'm going to give it 3.75, just under 4 stars. In its individual categories of rye and Canadian whiskey, it excels. But I understand what you're saying. This isn't, hooch that you just suck down.
No, absolutely.
Okay, this
absolutely
is something that takes a sip or two.
Yeah, no, this would be a great sitting outside, maybe around a campfire, puffing on a cigar type rye whiskey, and that's what I'm envisioning when I'm drinking it. So, you know what? Honestly, there's almost room for improvement on my own rating, just thinking of a more atmospheric setting.
Oh yeah. This is a great whiskey for good occasions, but yeah, there is that little bit of whiskey bite that reminds you what you're drinking.
You know what you're drinking.
This one would be great on the rocks.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, this would be perfect on
yeah, this would melt over ice.
I think if
nicely.
we do a second take on this video, it'll be on the rocks.
Yep, agreed.
Which, start looking for those coming soon, folks. Ooh. Second takes. So, all that being said, Tony G, this is our taste test and review of the excellent Whistlepig 10-year straight rye whiskey. I would recommend you pick it up, and when I get this back home, it's going on the top shelf.
All right.
So
fair enough.
That should tell you. That's all you need to know from me, folks. Top, middle, or bottom shelf. This one ain't even touching that bottom shelf. So,
fair enough.
Folks, like, share, subscribe. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, Phil K.O.E., handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner here, Tony G.